This is the second part of our new book series B4Success, The Revolution Within. In the first part, we ended up with the leaky bucket of success. There are many problem holes on the leaky bucket of success which are sucking all our energy, effort, and confidence. We are losing on many things, and that is why the efforts that we apply does not directly get converted into the results. When efforts do not produce results, they produce detrimental impacts on the problem holes present on the leaky bucket of success. Negative emotions and disappointments further blow up the size of existing holes. They may add up even more holes. Certainly, the impact increases the volume of efforts, passion, dedication, and motivation that waste through the leakages. Without realizing the growing size of leakages, we keep pouring more and more efforts but achieve less of success. This is how, for some of us, unknowingly, dashing hopes become a self-approved custom. How to correct this situation? At first, we should be able to evaluate and measure something that we want to correct. The leaky bucket of success is invisible, intangible entity. So the problem holes are. Both seem to be hidden somewhere within the layers of our subconscious living. Possibly, we had never noticed their presence in our life. Both are obscure, both are agonizing. We can't measure them physically, but we can observe their presence through the visualization capabilities of our mind space. We can measure the impact of problems we face, amount of efforts we invest, and the level of success we achieve. We can measure the delta between the efforts invested and results achieved. That's easy, that's real, and that's pragmatic. Let's understand the levels of success. If we want to evaluate the real status of our own success bucket, then first we should be able to identify and acknowledge the current level of success with which we are living today. Defining the 5 levels of success is eminent to realize the real impact of unconscious leakages on the quality of life that we are living today, the quality of life that we have attained till now. Let's look at success level 1. At this level, we are living at little less than average quality of life. We achieve mandatory livelihood. Our relationships are really cold, and frequent mental upsets are the part of life. At this level, the success bucket has almost all possible holes with clear openings. We live with ongoing health problems. Emotional side of life is not so encouraging. Attitude is not so rewarding. We do not like much of new learnings. We do not starve for elevated competencies. Willpower is there, but not so strong. The strategy for success is either weak or missing at this stage of success. Major part of efforts could not translate into results, rather it gets leaked through the problem holes present on the leaky bucket of our success. The philosophy that is mostly used to cultivate success at this stage is hard work and work hard. Though we survive well in all aspects of life, but we do not feel much of happiness, passion, togetherness, or tenderness. Hence, we mostly depend on outside world to provide us reasons to laugh, love, and feel felicitousness. We depend on movies, television, and social media to overcome everyday frustration and emotional dissatisfaction. At this level, we basically belong to the group of those people who want to live extra safe life, encapsulated within the comfort zone without any space for risk or adventure or any tedious efforts. We prefer the easy in place of required. We like to judge and criticize people. We complain more and appreciate less. We like to hide under situations but do not take much interest in developing solutions. We compare more and compete less. We rarely think of establishing our own adorning standards. We communicate to announce, declare, criticize, or comment, rather to cultivate understanding, intellect, and collaboration. We do not give an ear to anything that challenges us, but like to listen everything else that supports our comfort zone. We feed a lot of worthless information into our mind without realizing that such feeds are the real reason behind our cheesy emotional state. We are susceptible to deep sentimental wounds. As soon as expectations conflict with sentiments, we slip into the cave of dark emotions. The stubborn qualities are prominent at this level of success. We spend more energy in covering our weaknesses rather than leveraging on strengths. We expect more from others but cater less from ourselves. We rarely follow suggestions because we suspect more but trust less. When something goes wrong, we prefer blaming than expressing guilt or shame. We need a lot of push, motivation, and support to take initiative in certain direction. We easily get frustrated, demotivated, and defocused in hardships. At this stage, we are highly intolerant to adopt changes. We go ready to lose everything we have but do not prefer to leave annoyance, ego, and avenge instead. Thus, at this level, we live an ordinary life, which is not so happening, not so exciting, but just surviving comfortably. Next one comes is success level 2, living average quality of life. We achieve more than mandatory livelihood with at par savings, acceptable level of warmth in relationships, and usually less frequent mental upsets. At this level, the success bucket still has all holes present on its walls. Though the openings may be partial now, but outflow is still significant to suck off the abundant amount of energy and effort that we put forth to achieve success of our definition. We still live ignorant to health problems and keep suffering. The emotional side of life is still not so encouraging and remains stagnant. Our attitude is still not so rewarding and confluent. We do try for new learnings, but attempts remain feeble. We challenge our current competencies to revamp at times, but without taking much of pain. Our willpower is there, but fragile in nature. The strategy for progressing upwards is flawed but not nourished till maturity to yield into astonishing results. We succeed to produce average results, but not the appreciable ones. The philosophy at this stage that generally followed to cultivate success is work more with extra efforts. Work more with extra efforts. Level 2 is most crowded place. Majority of the people belong to this level of success and follow the philosophy of hard work with exaggerated extra efforts. They are the people with immense potential to beat the heat of any competition. But the problem is they are unaware of their own capabilities. When we are at this stage of success, we have just benchmarked ourselves with average. We have benchmarked ourselves with average. We are comfortable with average health, average wealth, average relationships, average professional growth, average temperament, average emotional expressions, average attitude, average knowledge, average willpower, and everything else as average. We do not feel any discomfort in staying at this stage as it is until we observe a comparative lag in our status quo. We are comfortable with current professional status or designation as we have till everyone around us is also at the same level. As soon as we see someone suddenly got a rise, our desire immediately gets triggered. We become uncomfortable and decide to break the shell of self-comfort zone. Abruptly, we become passionate to achieve new heights. In hurry, we begin to put unreflective efforts. We further stretch to exert extra efforts in anticipation of quick success. But as soon as we realize the magnitude of difficulties, our passion starts to detain gradually, and we slip back into the well established previous zone of self comfort. This is how we try and step back, not once but usually always. We claim on adverse situations but not on our tepid efforts. Though deep within the heart we realize the need of change for growth, still we are not ready to change ourselves. And surprisingly, we don't really know what is stopping us. We don't really understand that how our own subconscious living is driving us. We still live with pre-contemplated mindset restricted by our own belief system. That is how we stay at what we are, but does not grow into what we want to be. Next is success level 3. Let's see. Success level 3, the appreciable level of success. We achieve the grade of luxury in life. Relationships stay warm and welcoming. Emotional setbacks stay in control. Our competencies become appreciable. Usually at this stage, life is colorful and happening. That's the level 3 of success. When we are at level 3, it's only because we have significantly controlled the leakages from half of the problem holes present on our leaky bucket of success. At this stage, we are open to new learnings and commitments to affirm the competency growth. We captivate good emotional health, greater wealth, and less anxieties. We cheer more and complain less. We have more strengths to showcase and less weaknesses to hide. But it is the most difficult level to maintain. It's like living in the house made on the verge of mountain rock, above deep, steep valley. Yes, it is like living in the house made on the verge of mountain rock, above deep, steep valley. Why? Because at this level, we have developed intense sense of self-esteem and we treasure it as most precious asset. We cannot afford, hide or ignore any blunder we commit by chance or by choice. Fear of losing what we have is the biggest turmoil which may block our capability to take risk for further growth. At times, this fear may demolish our emotional setup so brutally that we may slip into the dark valley of mental blockages. Remember, half of the problem holes related to our self-esteem and emotional setup are still open on the walls of success bucket. We may still suffer health issues, attitude problems, strategic decisions, lack of passion, or remain dependent on support and motivation from outside world. The philosophy that is mostly used to cultivate success at this stage is overcoming fear and managing the risks aright. At this stage, we attain a significant level of self-awareness and we are ready to change ourselves to achieve omnidirectional success in personal and professional lives. We know that we need to nurture all aspects of life with exponential care to sustain our success at first and then grow upwards further. At least we know what to do, even if we don't know how to do. At this stage, at least we know what to do, even if we don't know how to do. We are willing to deal with life courteously against all adversities. We have courage, passion, and dream. We may fail numerous times, but do not easily lose hope for an impactful bounce back. We try once, twice, thrice, and even more to achieve the desired success. Our passion is not triggered by comparative lag, but embarked from within. We have a strong willpower to try until we succeed. But even at this level, our success is not directly proportional to our efforts. We still lose significantly through the leakages present on our success bucket. Next comes is success level 4. The level of excellence. The luxuries of life become new normal at this stage of success. Relationship has attained unbreakable warmth, trust, tolerance, and empathy. We are so matured that emotional setbacks rarely occur, and even if they occur, never turn strong enough to produce anxiety or stress. We learn, unlearn, and relearn extremely fast. We maintain our competencies much ahead of others. We become role models for the vital part of the society. At this level, our 60% of the efforts directly turn into the success. We are at success level 4 because we have developed ourselves so efficiently that we succeeded to stop leakages from 60 to 80% of the problem holes present on the walls of our success bucket. We have achieved this stage by tremendous gain in experience and expertise. We became pro in solving all our emotional and strategic problems. We have obtained extremely high level of willpower, amazingly fast learning curve, and adaptability towards anticipated changes. We are the master of competencies not only at the surface but deep down to the roots. We have much controlled health and humanly strengths. We foresee the things in a better way. We plan and execute almost perfectly. We have greater chances to achieve results in optimal efforts, but still, we may be reluctant to take new initiative because of two main reasons. One is exaggerated self-esteem that we want to sustain at any cost. Another one is extremely high sense of showcasing perfection. This reluctance puts a strain of saddle limits on the receptivity of our thought process. Thus, even being considered as role models by outside world, we are a bit fragile inside. We need a strong push and support from our external environment to break the saddle limits. We need a lot of motivation to be poured into our success bucket to take a step further. A step which may not be perfect, even may not be rewarding for self-esteem, but may be capable of opening new unknown dimensions of success. The philosophy that suits well to cultivate success at this stage is overcoming fear of imperfections. Yes, overcoming fear of imperfections. It's not easy, but the toughest task to overcome the fear of being imperfect at this stage, that is success level 4. This fear is bigger than the fear of failure as compared to the level 3 or fear of breaking the zone of self-comfort as it is in the level 2 of success. The problems at the level 4 are much more deep and wider. They directly hit on the values, ethics, and self-image. We have a strong belief system which has already formed an enormously impregnable wall around our thought process. Sometimes we are so costed under those walls that we forget to see the huge spectrum of colors between black and white. In a way, unknowingly, we start overlooking even the basic colors of life. We need a lot of motivation and clarifications at first to visualize the plethora of possibilities that we usually overlooked. Once we get the vision corrected, then we seek out for assurance of success before taking the risk. Why? Because if we fail, we are proved to be imperfect, and that is the biggest fear with which we are living at this stage of success. Once we feel significantly assured, then we seek out for the series of precautions to save the self-image of being perfect. We do it all for the fear of losing self-esteem, social status, or the position of the role model. When fear of losses becomes dominant over the desire of gain, then further path of success becomes difficult. Next and the last one is the success level 5, the level of habitual success. Yes, the level of habitual success. If we are at level 5 of success, it means we have already achieved the level of excellence in each and every activity we do in our life. We have mastered our thoughts and emotions as well as our competencies and convictions. We have achieved the Midas touch as an intrinsic personal quality. Whatever we do turns to be right. There are no situational reasons that can stop us from continuous and tremendous progress. At this stage, we have abundance of money, power, social esteem, love, and happiness. It's all luxuriant and galore with every new day. One can reach to this level of success only when he has completely controlled the leakages from its success bucket at first. These are the legendary people with miraculous personal aura and influence. In the pragmatic life of being, this stage is extremely difficult to achieve. And if it is achieved, it's enormously difficult to maintain. And if it is not maintained, then it can even spoil the credibility of the person. At this stage, success is not dependent completely on the individualistic performance, but it is driven through the collective performance by guided teams. Those who are at this level of success are highly self-motivated leaders of life. They are the powerhouse of inspiration for everyone else around. They do inspire and create army of loyal people. Consequently, these people create the trustful, imperial outcomes. This is how these legendary people control and prevent the leakages from their success bucket. They remove dependencies on their own self where they are weak, and they delegate the responsibility and they own the responsibilities where they are strong. So these legendary people remove dependencies on their own self where they are weak. They delegate the responsibilities. But where they are strong, they own 100%. They always win because collective effort extenuates on the weaknesses and leverages on the strengths. Their vision is clear, their support network is pompous, their passion never dies, and their competencies never go obsolete. But like anything else, this level of success is also not permanent. At this stage, we have huge responsibility and ownership in one hand, but huge dependencies and fellowship on the other hand. Losing control on dependencies and people may collapse the whole castle of success. The philosophy that suits well to sustain and grow success at this stage is to maintain the sustainable self-image and trust among followers. To maintain the sustainable self-image and trust among the followers. Look at any top-notch success legends. They are built by support and trust of their followers. For them, most critical asset is self-image. The most rewarding resource is trust of followers. When your success is dependent on the performance of others, it's crucial to understand and manage people with greater care. Probably it's time to ask from the self that at which level of success we are, at what quality of life we are living today, at which level of success we are willing to live actually. The big question is why we are still willing, why not we have reached there, what is blocking us? It's time to introspect. Success is not a virtue or bliss. It's an outcome of our fully developed personal core. If we want to attain higher level of success, we do not have much choices to choose from. We must adopt the self-development plan to become that person who deserves the next level of success. That's it. And that's all. What we are today is the result of what we did in the past. What we did was the result of our thoughts we manifested within us.